How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I am pretty excited today to talk about a company that I've never talked about before. And this is on a day where, as you can see here, we had some massive dips in the market. You know, some of these stocks are down 4.5%, 5%, 1%, 5.5%, 7.5%, 3%. And they're just down massively on the day. And by the way, I will talk about NAT tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about when I'm going to buy or sell NAT and give an update on that because I've had a lot of people that have wanted to see that. But as you can see here, many stocks are down on the day, but what's coming through all the noise and all the negativity is the fact that Nikola Motors is up 9% today. It was down about 8% after hours, but it was up about 9% today after it doubled its price on Monday. So it doubled its price Monday, and that was after it went up 50% from just a few weeks ago. So it goes up 50%, it goes up 100%, and that's up another 10%. So a lot of people have been asking what's going on with Nikola Motors. Is it something that you can invest in, and is it something that's going to grow over time? Is it a good stock pick? Would you buy it? Would you sell it? Is it the next Tesla? And I want to go over that because I did a good amount of research on this, and I think it's something that I've been waiting to talk about all day because I've been excited to talk about it. And even if you don't have any horse in the race, as they say, if you don't care about Nikola Motors at all, I think you should stay to the end because there are some really interesting points and some really interesting data that we can take a look at. And I think it's good just to know what the general market is doing because we need to be informed as investors and know what's going on around us and what retail investors are doing. So we're going to take a look at that. But before we jump in, if you don't mind hitting the like button and hitting the subscribe button below, I really appreciate it. And if you want some free stocks with WeBull, you can use the link below. You can get a free stock when you deposit $100. So that really helps out the channel, and I appreciate it. We're so close to 1,500 subscribers. Let's just get there. I think we can do it today. So please hit that subscribe button. But let's take a look at what's happened with Nikola Motors and just who they are in general. So Nikola Motors is a hydrogen fuel cell electric car company. So they are trying to be similar to the next Tesla. So a few months ago, they announced that they were going to start a merger with VTIQ, and this was going to provide Nikola with about $700 million in new cash. And as you can see that here, they have their semi-truck. This is what they were known for before, the semi-truck, and then they also just announced that they are going to come out with the Badger, which is their pickup truck, and they're going to start pre-orders on June 29. So that is the reason that it jumped pretty significantly just Monday, or very significantly. It went and doubled its price in a day, and that was because of this news that came out. Now, I will say this is a pretty smooth design. As you can see here, it is a very nice looking car, and one of the pros with this car versus the Tesla is it's supposed to be able to have 700 miles of range as opposed to the Teslas, and it's supposed to have just a great amount of power and torque and horsepower, and it's going to be a great car. As you can see here on the inside, it's pretty cool looking too, at least from the concept. And they are talking about also doing ATVs and jet skis, so that's something to look at too. But let's take a look at it because right now it's a $36 or $34 billion market cap. So it depends on when you see it, but it's a massive market cap. We're talking 30, 35, 40 billion at any given time. And when you think about Tesla, they are about $175 billion market cap. Back last year in 2019, they had dipped to about a 33 to 34 billion dollar market cap. And this was at a time when they were still selling, last year they sold 350,000 cars. So if we look at something else that's in the same type of size category, that's also a car manufacturer, let's look at Ford. So Ford has a $28 billion or $29 billion market cap. They've been around for a very long time, and it was actually founded in 1903, so 117 years. They're one of the most well-known and one of the largest car manufacturers in the U.S. They sold 1.3 million cars last year alone. So they are massive, and they have a market cap that is below Nikola Motors. So investors are saying we believe in Nikola Motors more than we believe in Ford Motor Company. And it's quite amazing because Nikola Motors hasn't sold a car yet. So they haven't sold one pickup yet. They haven't sold a semi. They haven't produced these cars. So they have their concepts. They throw them up on stage, but they're not being mass produced yet. So what they've essentially done is they have been able to create a fan base and some hype around the stock. And as you can see here, it just IPO'd. You can't find an income statement. You can't find a balance sheet. You can't find the cash flow. All you can find is the price. And of course, they have the companies that used to be set up, and you can figure out how much cash they have on hand. And they have about $1 billion, as I understand, in cash just sitting there for them to be able to research and develop. But they have to build their team out, and they have $1 billion, but their income from last year was about $400,000. So they did mostly contracting work and a little bit of engineering work, and they haven't been able to mass produce their actual product yet. So they have a long way to go. So for their vehicles, they have $10 billion in potential revenue, and this is really making a lot of hype around the stock. Now, this is interesting because on their website, this is actually on their website here, they don't have any kind of deposit to make a pre-order. So compared to Tesla, who when they unveiled their Model 3, I believe they had to deposit $1,000 for the pre-order. For their Cybertruck, they have to deposit, I think it's $100 for their Cybertruck. And even just that little pre-order will weed out a lot of people that just want to take a screenshot and say that they're buying the next hot car or something. But with Nikola Motors, they don't have any pre-order type of deposit. So that is pretty significant. I mean, think about it this way. Say I make a My Financial Friend wallet, and it's a nice leather wallet, and I'm going to sell it to you for $200. And let's say that 500 of my subscribers sign up for it. They say that they'll buy it, but there's no initial deposit you have to make. And now I can say, honestly, that there's a potential $100,000 in revenue. So 500 people times $200, I could make $100,000 in revenue from this product. Well, that doesn't really mean anything because there's no upfront cost. Most of those people probably won't actually buy the product. And also, when you think about it, they're talking about $10 billion in potential revenue, and they're over a $30 billion company right now. So I know that this is just the first year that they're talking about, or right initially that they have 10 billion potential revenue. But if I said to you that I was going to sell these wallets and then I want to raise money for my company, this would be equivalent of raising about $300,000 because I have $100,000 worth of pre-orders. So, I mean, that's just insane on its face. If you got 500 people to say that they'd spend $200 on a wallet, you can't raise $300,000 worth of investments realistically. And of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a stock analyst. There is room for interpretation and all this, so do your own research. But it just seems a little bit far-fetched to me. Let's look at Tesla's net income to get a little bit of an idea for where this could go. So it took Tesla a very long time to become profitable. So 2010, unprofitable, they lost 30 million. The next year, or the next quarter, they lost 39 million. The next quarter, they lost 35 million. And they continued to do this for a very long time. And the numbers got worse. So as they got bigger, they are losing more and more money. They have to get up to size. They have more research. And they have to build more factories. They were losing almost $1 billion a quarter. So 2/3 of $1 billion every quarter here. They turned to a slight profit. And then they started to go back negative again. And they're just becoming big enough that they can start making money in net income. So it took them about 10 years to be able to start making money, which I don't know about you, but if I am investing in Nikola, I don't want to wait 10 years to start seeing net income. I would rather invest in something like Tesla. So I know that I brought up Nikola's different products before, but think about Tesla. So they have the Tesla cars, so Model X, Model Y, Model 3, all that. They also have the Tesla Roadster. They also are coming out with the Cybertruck. and they've been able to show that they can actually sell these and mass produce these types of cars. They also are planning on coming out with a semi-truck. They also have solar roofs. They also have battery technology. So they have a lot of different lines of business that are pretty well diversified, honestly. And you're talking about Nikola Motors with a couple different types of recreational vehicles, and then a semi-truck and a pickup truck. For me, I'd much rather invest in something like Tesla. Tesla also has some of the best technology out there. So they have the best autopilot on the market right now. They have the best battery life of all the electric cars. They have some amazing features that other companies just can't compete with right now. They're so far ahead of even the major car providers and car manufacturers that I would much rather buy Tesla than I would Nikola. And then one other thing to think about too is Tesla took a long time also to build out their network in their charging stations. With these types of fuel cells, which are hydrogen that Nikola has, they need to provide somewhere for these people to charge. You can't charge in your own house with a giant hydrogen pump. And if you know more about this and you're maybe a scientist or you've done more research, you can correct me in the comments, but they plan on building out 700 of these truck stops where you can go and recharge your battery. So I did some research on this, and they're saying that these could cost between 15 and 20 million per truck stop. That's massive, right? So if you can charge enough, obviously they can make money on it, but think about the initial investment to make 700 of these. So 700 at about 20 million a piece, that's a massive, massive, massive amount. You're talking about $14 billion worth of these truck stops. And Tesla has a great network already there, and they're becoming profitable. For me, I'd much rather invest in Tesla. And I don't think that Nikola's price right now reflects the value that they have. So for me, I'm not going to buy anytime soon unless something drastically changes, unless they have new information come out. And honestly, if I was a short seller, I might start shorting this stock. I'm not telling you that you should do that. I'm not saying you should do that. But for me personally, I think that this is a massive bubble, much more than anyone that says that NAT is a bubble or anything like that, because NAT has the earnings to back it, and they have a track record, and they actually have revenue. So that is my thought on Nikola. Let me know what you guys think below. Is this something that you're invested in? Is it something that you're interested in investing? Is this something where you wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole? I appreciate you guys watching this. Again, please hit the subscribe button. We're so close to 1,500. Share it if you want to share it to some of your friends and maybe some other people that you know are looking at Nikola. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.